Alright, we'll start at the end of the third line from the bottom. So we said that a derivative of chochmah is what's called hanacha sichlis. Hanacha sichlis is a conscious combination of two worlds, so to speak. On the one hand, it's a hanacha, which means it's accepted by recognizing that it should be accepted. It's above question. How, on the other hand, it is hanacha sichlis. It also has the support of sichli. It only has the support of sichli, the recognition of sichli, but that is not the basis of it. The basis, its basis is the hanacha. And this is why we say that this hanacha sichlis, with all ramifications, with the sichli and all that, it is actually what's called hanacha sichli de chochmah, that its primary source, base, is chochmah. Chochmah brings you face to face, so to speak, in direct contact with the truth beyond creation, with the original truth.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Is the effect from chochmah on the sichli or on the hanacha?
Hanacha. All right, now we'll start at the end of the third line from the bottom. Bezehu, that explains the principle that we always say, She'ha-chochmah hi bechinas da'as elyon. That the chochmah is the da'as elyon aspect. It's a da'as elyon quality. We briefly discussed da'as elyon. Principally, da'as elyon is a das which is really above world. It is a das the way it is in its source, in the lakus, v'hainu, which means to say she'b'chochmah meir ho'er ein soif, that in chochmah meir shines the ho'er ein soif, which is yesh ha-emitit, the true yesh. We discussed yesterday the grammatical means of the word yesh ha-emitit or yesh emitit. Yesh emitit, I'm just repeating it, yesh emitit means a true yesh, which can be understood from any source. Ha-emitit means the true yesh, which means it connects directly to the real thing. The Hainu bechinas ha'atzmus, which is the bechina of atzmus. Shezeh bechinas yesh ha-emitit. The atzmus is the yesh ha-emitit. There's only one yesh ha-emitit.
This move towards etzem yesh ha-emitit started because we talking about chochmah,
That's AYIN.
and we got into that because chochmah originates in Das Alien.
Right. Chochmah represents Das AYIN, and this is the chochmah meir ho'er in sof. Let me. I don't know if we. All right. Let me just, so to speak, elaborate, focusing on these words a little bit. Chochmah meir ho'er in sof. We have discussed many times the principle of oir and where it comes from. And we said one very clear representation of the union of oir or meir is that if you're in somebody's home and the owner is present there, the owner's presence is not limited to where he is physically present. The owner's presence is recognizable and is felt throughout the big house, no matter how big the house is. This is called oir. The effect of his presence. And the effect of his presence when he is actually present is not due to the fact that everything is in the right place and it is conducive to human living. It is his actual presence that's felt throughout the home. I hope you understand this. Yes, no? Maybe so? Perhaps?
After all these years that you give us this metaphor, if we don't understand, that's not possible.
Not possible, huh? How come you're in the dark over here?
Keep the buzz off.
It makes a buzzing noise.
Oh, no, that's it. This one is not
Should I
even.
turn it on or it buzzes?
No, there's another one over here. Okay, never mind. It's not worth it.
I turn it on. You know. I'm asking you. Just
All right.
So this is about the house. So it's no information, it's just the presence of the...
We pointed out, and everyone understood this. Even the first time we presented it. If you have a home that's 3 stories high, or 5 stories high, a huge home, and it also has an attic that you never visited, you don't even know what's going on in there. And somebody decides, hey, here's a free, an empty space here. He doesn't even know that it exists, and there's no way that he's going to mind me climbing up in there and setting up my dwelling in that attic. Would you accept that? Would you tolerate him being in that attic? It's an interesting thing. I told you I was traveling with an ultra-liberal Haberman guy when I was in the plane. and we were discussing various things, and I wanted to show him what a living neshama is. I said, I don't remember exactly how the conversation went. I asked him this particular question. At first he said, of course, he's homeless. I would have mercy upon him. I would let him stay there. Then, after a few moments, he turns around, no, I would not. I would not tolerate him being there. Despite the fact that he is not interfering with my whereabouts at all, he's infringing on my ownership of this home, which is beyond function.
And this morning we're revisiting this to bring out the point of
Das AYIN yesh ha-emitit, or oir. This is a ha'ora of the yesh, of the human yesh.
the ha'ara of the human yesh. Aha.
Chochmah is beginner's das AYIN, which means that Chochmah meir ha'erin seif. In Chochmah shines, which means it has the impact, it's recognized, the ha'erin seif. Yesh ha-emitit. Yesh ha-emitit impacts its presence in the ha'erin seif manner. Ha'erin seif means I'm a bit more than I'd like to chew. Ha'erin seif is an infinite presence. Which means it's a presence which does not have a beginning, a source where it starts, where it comes from. The beginning of the atzmus, this is the yesh ha-emitit. This beginning of atzmus, this is inherent knowledge in every soul. And this knowledge is not a seichel knowledge. It is a fundamental knowledge. This is what a living soul knows, orients with. This is where it exists. This is what it relates to.
Can I ask something again?
Okay.
What means it doesn't have a beginning?
What?
What means it was said before it does not have a beginning?
Okay, I'll let you answer that. You must start answering yourself. This is your seichel, your neshama. these things are expressed not for the purpose of further elaboration. It is expressed for the purpose of you recognizing, oh yeah, I've experienced that. Umasha lamato, and that which is lamato, which is below, this is das eli, that which is below das eli, haino mashabo behasogo, which is no, not through chochmah, but that which is able to be put into hasogo, comprehension, which you can also grasp. Zehu bechinas haora levad. Zehu bechinas haora levad, which is only haora of the true oil. Let me start again over here. The ha-emitit yesh hang beginners ha'atzim. Sheter beginners ha-yesh ha-emitit. Umasha lamato, that which is below that. The hang beginners mashabo behasogo, which is that aspect of elokus, that bo behasogo, that can come down on hasogo and comprehension. Zehu shezer beginners ha'ora levad, which is the beginning of ha'ora, which is only a ha'ora. Not the yesh ha-emitit, but only ha'ora. Harei bebechinas AYIN. This, in contrast to the yesh ha-emitit, is bebechinas AYIN. Is in the AYIN form, element. The gloch hashiv kamei, which is which is, so to speak, from the perspective of yesh ha-emitit, is kloch hashiv, is like nothing. All right. That which is below this chochmah, which is below the union of das eli, and the meyed and the haora of Ein Sof, or the oil of Ein Sof, the yesh ha-emitit, this is only haora. Haora means has an impact, but it doesn't have the real essence itself. Ha'ora means I know about it, but I don't have it with ha'ora. Like we said in our Misholim, being in somebody's home without his presence is there, but it's only a ha'ora of his presence. When he is present, it's a completely different presence. And this ha'ora is bechinas ayin. The bechinas ayin, relative to the yesh, it is like a non-presence, a non-entity. The klocha shiv kamei, that is considered kamei by him, from his perspective, it's kilocha shiv. It's like non-presence. Before we go on, I want to get some feedback and see that people understand at least some sense what do we mean by chochmah over here, and what is that lamato, that is only the ayin, is a ha'ora. The klocha shiv. Chochmah, we go back the second line from the bottom, in the middle of the line. Chochmah is bechinas das helin, the hainu, which means shebechokma meir ho'erin seif. That in chochmah meir shines the ho'erin seif. This is expressing. You know, chochmah. Not that chochmah knows about Eirin Seif and can relate to Eirin Seif, but that meir Eirin Seif, the yesh ha-emitit, which means that chochmah is fully imbued with this sense of the yesh ha-emitit, of the yesh ha-emitit. The Eirin Seif is meir through its whole, in entire presence.
Put that down. I'm drawing the other guy.
What?
You're disturbing us. Could you just... We're having a shear here.
Okay, Chinra.
What are you blocking the view?
It's disturbing me. Could you quit looking at me?
I'm not looking at you.
No. Stop it. When you're saying Mechochmah is Meir Ho'erin Seif, they said, means to say, not that Chochmah is aware of the Eirin Seif, but that Chochmah is imbued with Eirin Seif and in an eternal manner. Chochmah does not need to turn towards Atzmus when you recognize it. Atmos is present throughout its whole consciousness. So in chochmah, it is the real thing, the yesh ha-emitit. Ha'ora starts that which is outside and below chochmah. That which is below is called ha'ora. Ha'ora means, as we said, ha'ora is similar to the real thing. But it's only the impact of the real thing, not the real thing itself.
לא בחינס האור לבד.
Right. The matter is what?
What is this ha'ara? It's much lamata. Whatever's below this yesh ha-emitit
Right.
is just a ha'ara.
Is a ha'ara of that.
And what is below what?
Below chochmah.
Uh-huh. It's like a dim reflection. It's not actual reality. It's not a yesh ha-emitit.
Okay, so the muscle for ha'ara by us is you're in somebody's home, but he is absent. You feel his presence, but indirectly. You feel the impact of his presence. It's called the ha'ara. Not him. Chochmah senses him, not the significance and so forth. There is ha-emitit, the real yesh, not something which is akin to the real yesh.
Right. So in this explanation, ha'ara is pretty rich in the sense that it's properly,
Very rich.
Yeah,
Very
properly
rich.
aligned with the actual reality.
Yes, but it's only a reflection of the actual reality.
Yeah.
It's only the impact, the effect of it, not its presence.
But it's the authentic impact. It's the real deal. It's not some derivative far away. It's the actual.
Yes, it's correct. But relative to the yesh, to the real thing, it's only how it's called AYIN.
Mm. And by AYIN we said lo chashiv, right? It was
The klochashiv.
Kalochashiv, which is as if to say, in contrast, it's like not even thought of. It's like not even a thought. This AYIN seems sort of.
It is like non-existent. Klochashiv, like again. Let's talk in the mashal that we had.
Well, there the Kalochashiv doesn't seem to fit, right? Mashal seems much richer than not even thought of.
Rabbi, it's Shmuel.
Shmuel, hold on a second. Shmuel, hold on a second. Let's get through this, the Kalochashiv, the ha'ara Kalochashiv. And I'd like to stay with our orientation with the Mashalim that we are dealing with, so that we have the continuing impact. We said an interesting thing, that if somebody climbs into the attic of your home, and the attic may be 5 stories above, as we said all the thing, you will not be able to tolerate it. You will feel an infringement on your presence in the home. Let's take the same illustration, the same scenario. But you're not home. Somebody got into your home, climbed into the attic, and you made himself comfortable there. You would also not allow it to happen. You will immediately look for ways to get him out of there. But will it infringe upon you the same way as when you are in the house?
So this difference is illustrating Kalochashiv.
Right.
So then it's not Kaloi, it is thought of, it is a concern. Kalocha.
But it's the law. It doesn't have a direct connect. You will not tolerate it, but not because it bothers you.
Oh, not you don't have a personal.
It doesn't reach you.
But that muscle is inside the moir, not inside the oil. Now, the bias is a muscle for the moir.
One second. Do again. The muscle what?
That's inside the moir. The bias is the moir.
Yes.
Depending on the impact that the moir has on the oil.
No, that's what we're saying. That chochmah has the moir. And that which is below chochmah, it comes into Hasog, is only ha'ara levad. And it's klo choshiv. The point which we are trying to point out, in what way does it reflect the real thing if it's klo choshiv? This is the interesting thing here. It is klo choshiv, but it is the ha'ara of the real thing. It reflects a real thing, but only koloch, or only in the ha'ara. If it didn't reflect the real thing, in other words, like you said, if he moves into your attic, you're absent. You would not let it stay like this. But it does not affect you in a direct way as when you are in the home. Because this inyan that extends into your attic in your absence is kolo. It's only a ha'ara of your presence. When you're in the home, then you are present. When you're not in the home, it's your home. But it's only a ha'ara of your reality. So you will not let it be, but it will not bother you in the same way. That's why it's called kilo chashiv. Yes, Shmuel.
Yeah. Is there, I sense a connection here between this and the mathematical concept of zero.
Say again.
Concept of zero.
Zero has no value, and yet it has a place, has a presence.
I have to focus into the world that you're coming from in order to kind of react to it correctly.
Okay, I'll be there in a few minutes.
Zero is not klo.
Okay.
Zero is only mathematical zero.
Well,
In reality, it is not zero. It's at the starting point of any measurement. It's called zero. All right.
all right, fine.
So this is the union that we learn over here, that this is the chinas AYIN, which is kilochashiv. Even though it's there, it's a ha'ara of the real thing. But this ha'ara is AYIN. It does not have the real thing behind it. Doesn't carry the real thing with it. Like we said in our mashal, the absence of the owner.
Yeah, I guess I'm not fully able to square up the mashalim with what I'm understanding from inside. Namely, like...
What's over the Rishonim himself, you
either-
understand?
No, the mashalim I get, but they don't seem to fit with what I'm understanding from inside. And maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Well, okay.
Kaloch
go-
hashiv seems to imply null, meaning not even a thought, not even the
No,
beginning.
it's a ha'ara. It's not true.
So okay, so what's the reading of Kaloch Hashiv? How's it go?
Okay, 1 second. Let's go back to the last line on the previous page.
Okay.
Shezehu b'chinas ha'or alavat. There is something there, but that something is described as ha'or alavat. And I explained ha'ora, the pshat. The meaning of ha'ora is it tells you the whole truth of the real thing. It's a reflection of the real thing, but in a ha'ora manner, not in a real presence.
REBBE b'chinas AYIN. This that's so real is an element of AYIN.
B'chinas ha'ayin.
Kaloch Hashiv kamei.
The kaloch hashiv kamei.
As if not thought of.
What?
As if not even a thought. Am I misunderstanding the phrase?
The word choshev means not thought. Choshev means a worth,
Of no worth.
of no worth.
How are we saying?
The koloch
yeah.
hashiv kamei, from relative to the real thing, it is like not.
So even though we just said by the mashal, the home is so authentic and is so real, even the man is not there. Seemingly inside, it's of
Okay,
no.
kamei. So this is my question.
Yeah.
The home from the perspective of the owner, when he is absent and you climb into this home, do you sense the difference between if you are in the house or not in the house?
Does the the visitor senses if the owner's there or not?
Not the
there?
visitor, the owner.
Does he sense if? Yeah,
His reaction will be the same as when he's in the house or not in the house.
different, right?
What's the difference?
Well, we established that if he was in the house, he'd sort of be more personally affected, be more immediate. He's not there. It's
1 second,
It's
no. Get down to it. It still impacts him. He still will object to it.
yes.
But the objection is like a ha'ora, because you are you're disrespectful to a certain reality of mine.
Yeah, that's
But not
fine.
me.
That's fine. But at no point does it become the Kaloch Hashiv kamei.
Sure,
Why?
because it doesn't touch him.
But it's always of worth to him. It's always his.
It doesn't. What is it worth to him?
What is it worth to him?
Yeah,
It's his property. It's like theft. It's like
that's right. But he
invasion.
doesn't. No. But kamei, it doesn't touch him.
Oh, so the him himself element, that sort of personal
That's
element,
right.
is no
That's
longer
right.
affected. It's sort of
That's
more abstract. It's like it's my property, but
That's
okay.
right. It doesn't touch him.
Okay. Got it. That helps.
So that's what the ha'ora. The ha'ora is a reflection of the true presence, but in a ha'ora form, which does not carry any substance. It doesn't reach him back.
Milamata, the ha'ara is sort of all we've got, and it's very real, but
But
okay,
kamei,
yeah.
relative to the real thing, it's insignificant. And here is where we have the real contrast. If he is in the house, also it's only an attic, and it doesn't infringe upon his whereabouts, and yet it really bothers him personally that you were there.
Right, and why would that be?
Why would that be? Because this is not a ha'ara, this is his own presence. This would be an infringement on his reality,
Sort of his dalit amas, his
his own
Nogeh-
presence.
His own although it's the house and it's the attic, it's still his own presence because he's like now in the house, yeah? He's not just the owner, he's in the house, so it's much more...
No, it's true to the fact that he is the owner, but but his ownership is clearly stated here.
Yeah.
This was called the Oyer. Meir Ein Sof. And the Meir Ein Sof is throughout the whole is a real thing. Whereas if in absence it's only ha'orah.